What, if anything, would you change about your recruiting process, if anything at all?
I don't think I'd change much about it. I think it was a good process. I played 1 year of juniors. I got recruited when I was in high school, so I think it was kind of a cool transition to be able to play that 1 year of juniors and get like a little bit more maturity and be ready to go off to college.
What have you found to be the biggest difference between high school and collegiate athletics?
I think it's just the speed and like bigger players that you're playing against. So I think the main thing is you got to keep up with the speed, and once you get the speed under control, then you can work on everything else.
And for a high school athlete that's on like an official visit or something like that, what is one question you would recommend they ask?
Well, that's a good question. One question, I think you gotta ask if this is, or I mean, I guess that's more asking yourself. You got to be able to ask if it's this is like a good fit for you, rather than make sure that you're asking the coaches the right questions to make sure that this is the right spot for you to be in.
That's it, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one. What, if anything, would you change about your recruitment process?
My recruitment process was pretty weird in the sense that it came pretty quick. I had a plan. I was going to go into college next year. That's what I wanted to do when I came overseas, so I would play 1 year of juniors. So, in a sense, I think having an advisor was pretty helpful to me, just especially not speaking the language pretty well to start with. So he definitely helped me out in that sense, that he just kind of laid out the plan for me, and it was easier to go from there.
What is the biggest difference that you've seen in college athletics and kind of athletics that you played before college?
Sorry? What was it?
So the biggest difference between collegiate athletics and pre-collegiate athletics?
Definitely the tools available, I'd say, especially in college. Like, whatever you need, you pretty much have. I don't know if it's the same thing in every college, because obviously I only play for Quinnipiac, but just like in the sense that if I need something from academics, I have like 4 or 5 people that I can contact, and they'll help me right away. And I think that's a good thing about Quinnipiac, especially, is that like it's kind of a family environment, and that has helped me in a sense, especially from being like for being an international player. Like I don't necessarily speak English my freshman year, so like kind of having that family around me has helped me a lot.
And for an athlete, a prospective athlete that's on an official visit to a school or a team, what is one question that you recommend they ask?
One question.
It's a bit of a tougher one.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. When I came here, I just kind of want to know what I guess would be like my role on the team, because that's important. Obviously, you come here, you want to play, and if you play, you're having fun. So, I mean, if you're coming to play hockey, is definitely one of the things I would ask. But to me, probably more important thing for me is just having fun while you're here. So, like, what is here, like, getting to know the team, really getting to know the coaches, just the interpersonal relationships, I think, to me, are more important than actual, like, because you can improve upon all your skills, but having those relationships really mean a lot, and it definitely enhance your experience as you are in college.
All right, that's all I got. Thanks so much. Have a good one. What is one thing that you wish was changed about your recruiting process, if you could change one thing?
I mean, not a whole lot, I'd say. Like, it all happened very fast, where I talked to coach, and then I ended up being committed here about a month later, and then ended up coming in. I didn't really know a lot about the process, and I was just kind of happy with my decision to come to Quinnipiac, and so there's not really a whole lot that I changed.
What did you find was the biggest difference between high school and collegiate athletics?
I think it's just, this is your kind of your full-time job, balancing your social life, academic life, and obviously athletics isn't easy, especially your freshman year is a challenge, and to get all 3 of those parts of your life in order, it just takes time to kind of find that balance, and then you can really start excelling.
And for a prospective high school athlete that's thinking about where to go to school, what is one question you would recommend they ask any coach when they go take a visit?
Oof. It's a tough one. I would say, instead of a question to ask, I've always been told to go where you're wanted most. And so I think that's something you got to be able to feel out. Like, you can maybe go to a high-end school, but you might not be in the lineup, might not get a lot of play time, and that can hurt you. Or lower in school, they really value you. They'll put you first line power play. They'll build a program around you per se, and I think just going where you're wanted most is the biggest thing. That's what I felt here at Quinnipiac, and that's why I chose to come here.
Thanks, Nick. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
Have a good one.